What is up, guys? It's your boy 70s or Putnight here, bringing you probably the craziest story I'll ever have, unless something else happens in my life. But so far, this is probably the craziest story that's ever happened. It might be a little longer than my usual stories, but yeah, this is crazy. The story's about the time that this drug deal type thing went very, very wrong, and didn't turn out like like we expected. Alright, so it all started, I was just chilling in my house. It was like a Friday night, and this kid, he messaged me on Facebook and he said, yo, I got some green if you want to buy some. And at the time I said no, but this kid also stole weed from a couple of my friends that were selling. So I ended up texting them and like told me he was trying to sell me some, because it was most likely theirs that he stole. And so they said, oh, actually, meet me at the gas station and tell him you'll buy some. So I messaged him back and I said, never mind, I'll get some. And so I went to the gas station or whatever and met up with the friend I texted, the other friend I had, and there's this black kid in the back. Sorry, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but there was this black kid in the back. One of my friends was black and the other one was white. And so we meet up. I don't really know the kid in the back of the car, the one black kid in the back, but I know the two up front. And so they bring me to this kid in the back's house, and this kid's like a senior in high school, or was at the time. So I don't even know how he owned a house, but he had his own house. And so we go there, and there's some more like black kids that like go to my school, and these aren't like like the goody like black kids. These are like the kids that like come from like the south side of Chicago, because I live in Illinois, so like we have kids that come from Chicago and like move down. And so yeah, they're not exactly like the best kids. I like, they're not, I mean, they're nice to me and everything, but just they're not very smart in what they do. So I'm in this house full of all these like guys. Oh well, I forgot to even mention that we had to pick up this one big ass black dude. He like beat the shit out of someone after a basketball game a couple years ago from another school. And so he was with us, like, and he sent that kid to the hospital. So he's with us. I was with all these kids. I end up calling the kid that's trying to sell the weed or whatever, and I say I didn't really want to do this, like, to be honest. Like, once I got there in that house, I'm like, yo, I don't know about this. This is like probably a shitty ass like thing. And so I call the kid. I just end up doing it anyway. And at first they wanted me to have him come over to that house, but apparently they try to like have another kid do the same thing and like bring him to the same address. And the kid selling weed is dumb enough to like keep going on with it. Like he realized that it was the same address or whatever. And so he's like, I'm not coming there. I'm like, yo, it's my uncle's house. It's not that big of a deal. But he wanted for me to meet him up at his apartments or whatever. And so we ended up doing that. But this kid, like I don't know, maybe he's really just desperate to get money or something. But he would not like he wouldn't like he was too dumb to realize that they already said like try to do the same thing. He's like too dumb to realize that. But anyway, like the whole point of the whole like thing we were trying to do was just jump him and get the weed he stole back. And so we end up thinking of what to do. And so finally I call him back and like we tell him we'll like come there. And like I tell him I want to stay in the street and that he can walk out to me by himself, because apparently he had a friend that's like pretty ghetto, like from Chicago as well. And so I was kind of like iffy about that kid, because I didn't know him at all. So I was kind of iffy about him. And so I go so I call him back, or I'm talking to him. And so I tell him that I want to like meet, like I'll park my car and I'll be in my car on the side of the road, and not, because he went and he's like, no bro, just like go in front of my apartment. And so yeah, I didn't want to keep like arguing with him, so I said I would. So I drive there, and all these black kids and my friend, they drive there as well. And like, so his apartment, like there's a parking lot in front of it, like his door, and then on the side of the parking lot it's like the street or whatever. So I was on the street, and all of like the kids I was with like hid behind the apartment building, so like he would walk by and you would see it, like see them going past. And so that like when he ended up walking out with that ghetto friend or whatever, and he said he wasn't gonna come out, but he did. And so they walk up to my car door or whatever, and I'm like, oh, fuck this. And I just drove off. Well, I mean, that's what I was going to do anyway, but I drove off sooner than I wanted to. Like, because he touched my door handle. And so all I see is the kids I was with run out and try to attack, or like, attack him or whatever. And, I drive off. I'm scared as shit because I didn't know if a gun was going to get pulled or something from that ghetto kid. And so I drive back around the block, and they're all trying to fight. And, like, I'm just cruising by, or, like, slowly. And my friend gets a gun pulled on him. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, because I didn't want this kid to die. Like, this kid was a pretty good, like, I've known him for a long time. He wasn't always, like a bad kid, like, he did drugs and anything. It's just because he broke up with his girlfriend, and he kind of, like, I don't know, he's really, like depressed and stuff, and he kind of got into drugs and shit. But he's not like that anymore. It was just like a little month thing. And so yeah, so he got a gun pulled on him, and I'm just like, oh shit, I can't do this. So I just drove off, and I went to our recreation center and just fucking played basketball at like 8 o'clock at night. Like I was like shaking the whole time. Like I was scared these kids were gonna come and like get me because I set them up or whatever. But after I left, like I guess the cops were called. Because of some, like, I guess there was another robbery in the neighborhood or something, and so they got called, and they saw, like, the kids were trying to fight or whatever, and everyone ran away, but a couple kids got, like, arrested, or they didn't get arrested, but they got taken to the police station or whatever, and then they got released because they were under 18 or whatever, and they couldn't, like, get charged or something. I'm not exactly sure on all the details, but I just remember I called one of the kids back after I was done playing basketball, and he was just like, oh shit, man, I can't really say anything, but a bunch of, like, everyone got, like the cops came and everyone had to run, and my friend got arrested or whatever, my other friend, and he was just like, yo, I can't really talk, and I that's pretty much all that happened. He got released, and everything's good now between everyone. But it was just like really scary, and I don't know why I was in that situation in the first place. But it was just a really shitty situation to be in, and like I don't know why. Like I'm not really like I mean, I smoke weed every now and then, but like I'm not like into that kind of stuff, or even like, it's just not like who I am. It's not the kind of kids I hang around with. So it's just really like scary, and like it's probably one of the most scary things that ever happened in my whole entire life. It was pretty exciting, not gonna lie. Like it was kind of exciting. It gave me a rush, but it's definitely not something I'd want to do again unless I was like guaranteed safety. But yeah, that's probably like the most crazy story I'll ever like bring on this channel. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this, and if any kind of like drug deal or anything gone wrong with you, or any of your friends or anything, just let me know in the comments, and but I hope it never does. And so yeah, thanks for watching, and some more videos are coming out soon. Thanks, guys.